Peace and blessings. Today, I want to share something with you. I always try to be genuine. I try to keep it real, but today this is about immigration. Recently, with the presidential change in the United States, the immigration process has changed. I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened it and read it. It said they were suckers. They had denied my wife's visa application. It has been a rough visa process since the onset, nearly 10 years ago. First, visiting the embassy, United States Embassy in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, West Africa. They suggested that, that I go through the legal marriage. So I legally got married to my wife, which is a process in itself. You have to reserve a date and a time at one of the local mairies, the mairie. I lived in the mairie de Cocody, but I got married in the mairie de Makori. So that took a process. That was a process that was somewhat arduous. And now that I know, it was unnecessary. Well, it would have come out better doing the fiance visa. But, knowing that, I found my life partner and we had a child together, it wasn't nothing to me to get married to to my partner, get married to my lady. And so that's what I did. My lady has some issues being born in the rural area of Cote d'Ivoire. Her documents was not so much in order. So I had to get her documents in order. Getting her documents in order was not an easy thing to do. We did that. And then they said, oh, well, you have to go to Ghana. So I contacted the American Embassy in Ghana, and they said, no, they know exactly what the process is. You don't have to come to Ghana to do that. And it was basically because of a language barrier. And I have seen people in Cote d'Ivoire go to Ghana to get visas to go to the United Kingdom, and even the United States for that matter. So I got a lot of misinformation and a whole lot of things went on. I was speaking to a friend of mine in Qatar who basically has been in Qatar for over 10 years, and he's married a lady and had 2 children of his own. And we were talking about the process, and he was like, yeah, man, it intentionally has traps in the process to bind you up. Me, on the other hand, I was just like, man, I went through COVID. I went through a whole lot of things. I went through issues of not being able to upload things because they didn't use this particular Internet Explorer. You had to use an older model of an Internet Explorer. This file being too big, compressing this file. I'm not a technical dude like that, but I went through it. I fought through it. I did not hire a lawyer because of financial issues, right? So I did it myself. And doing it myself, along with living, I got overwhelmed with the paperwork at the last moment, after going through the USCIS process and then going on and filing the I-130, I-130A. I just really got overwhelmed. Had different issues when I came back to the United States to establish my residency, which would make it a little easier. People broke into family home, was out of the home due to a water leak and asbestos abatement, all of these things going on, but they don't care about these things. They have no concern about what's going on in your life to get things done. But with the advent of this new president, just yesterday, and the day is what, March the 21st? They added a list of countries in Africa that they did not want to issue visas to these persons. Guess what country's on the list? Mali. That's where my wife's visa, where her passport is from. My wife ain't did nothing to these people. My wife just want to be with her husband. She wants my daughter to see her grandmother. But here I am in the middle, caught up on some MAGA shit. I'm telling you, people are real. People are hurting. People have real situations. And one day the bottom is going to drop out this camp. The bottom going to drop out. I'm telling you. You have the current president of this country that has said that he wants to sell, $5 million gold cards for people to immigrate to this country. He's also said that he's opening the route for South Africans, for white South African settlers to come to the United States. But you listed 64 countries, most of them African countries, that cannot come to the United States. I'm telling you, the funny thing to me is this. I take care of my elderly parents, my elderly uncle and my mother, excuse me. God rest my father's soul. And every time I go to the doctor, I see Indian doctors, Pakistani doctors, Ghanaian doctors, Nigerian doctors, Jamaican nurses, Bahamian nurses, Liberian nurses. And you want to keep people out of this country because of the color of their skin? You dismantle the Department of Education? Look at the United States. The United States is behind in education throughout the world. If we did not have Indian doctors, you wouldn't have any doctors. Nigerian doctors can't even get into this country because you've labeled all Nigerians as scammers. Some of the most intelligent people in the world, but you labeled them because a few people have committed some unsavory acts. Land of the free, home of the brave, make others the slave. I'm serious. Sometimes I wake up in so much pain, being away from my daughter and my wife, wanting to give the best of education to my daughter. I tell you, I knew something was wrong in the United States when they began to roll back Roe versus Wade. I never would have imagined, after what women fought for in order to control their bodies, that this would happen. Now the Department of Education gone. The United States has the potential to, and already has the most educated citizenry in the world. Well, one of the most educated citizenry in the world. Because public education is required for everyone, is the reason that the United States numbers oftentimes are lower than those of other developed nations. They have a lower amount of people going to school, and when they do go to school, they perform at a higher level because free education. Look at Germany. Germany's free education all the way through university. So think about me. Think about somebody like me. Not on no 90-day fiance thing, anything like that. I've been married to my wife for 10 years. My daughter is 9 years old, never seen her grandmama. You want to split my family up? I take that personal. It's hard for me to give you the greeting of peace, but I'm going to give you the greetings of peace. Shalom, Mubarak, Shalom, Kareem, Salam Alaikum. Peace be upon you. And like I always say, if you ain't learned something today, you lived today and you lost today.